Anthony Slater here with Darnell Mayberry inside the peak for another Thunder loss. This one 91-86. Warriors over the Thunder, dropping OKC to a conference worst 3-12 on the season. And like in these past games, it was, the Thunder stay competitive. They stay in it pretty much the whole way. And then a late game blunder kind of does it in. In the past, it's been either Serge Ibaka missing or Reggie Jackson missing, late game shots. Tonight, it might have been kind of on Scott Brooks' shoulder. The Thunder need 3 late. He keeps in Lance Thomas and Andre Robertson, 2 guys not known at all for shooting, and they both airball 3 in the final minutes. What was your thought on Brooks' decision to have them in the game?
Yeah, there was no real explanation for it. Scott Brooks did his best to explain, to his credit, what he was thinking. He wanted Andre Robertson in there to be a physical screener. He wanted Lance Thomas in there to inbound the ball because that's been a struggle for this team so far this season. But I still don't think there was any excuse for having both of those guys on the floor at the same time in that situation. Jeremy Lamb, Sebastian Telfair, Nick Collison, any of those 3 guys, you got to get one or 2 of those 3 guys on the floor in that moment to give you a better chance in that situation.
The Splash Brothers, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, go combined 11 of 35 from the field. The Thunder really played an explosive offense well. They let Mo Spates go off for 28, which was kind of random. But overall, as I talked about it was competitive. It was down to the wire. But these demoralizing losses keep piling up. I mean, is it almost, in a weird way, better for the Thunder if they had just lost by 15 tonight instead of, these late game losses?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, this is the 8th loss by 7 points or less. You're seeing some games go into overtime, some games be decided right there in the final seconds of the game. I think it's got to take a toll at some point that these guys know that they're in games, but now they're realizing that they're just not good enough to win these games. And at some point, that has to set in, the reality of it, and I think so far right now it has.
I'm going to ask you this question like I've asked you, I think maybe probably the last 5 post-game videos we've done. It's now dropped to 3-12. How worried are you about this championship contenders getting in where the playoffs are legitimately a question?
Worried. I mean, you start to look at the schedule. You start to look at maybe the return dates of Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant. You start to look at the possibility of further setbacks and, guys missing games due to injuries, guys being rusty when they come back. The margin of error is slim right at this point. You got to get 47, 48, maybe even 49, 50 wins to get in the postseason just as the 7th or 8th seed. And then once you're there, you got your work cut out just to make the finals. So a championship at this point is looking slim, but, who knows? Maybe these guys can turn it around.
Yep, let's kick it to Scott Brooks and some of the players and see what they had to say about tonight's loss.
It sets us up for a heck of a ride during the regular season. I've always been a positive guy. I believe in our guys. I believe in the locker room. I believe in them right now when we have some really good players that are hurt. Not only good scorers, good players, good playmakers. But I believe in the guys, and we are in a hole. You can't hide that. We're nobody expected for us to be in this situation, but we are. This is what we are dealing with, and we're going to have to continue to step up and find ways to help each other have success. Like I said, it sets up for an amazing regular season run. And I know our guys are looking forward to the next game, and that's the only thing that we're focusing on, the next game. The playoffs and all that, that's remains for a later day. But we know we have to string some wins together.
I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of situations like this, but in terms of the spirit of this team and from top to bottom, everybody working hard and staying optimistic. That's something I haven't seen on a lot of teams I've been on. So that's something special, and I think everybody's optimistic that we're going to get over this.
Once we start winning, we figure things out, and once we get everybody back, just hit the ground running right now. We're proud of the way that we're coming out and competing, but we're not satisfied, of course. We hate this feeling of losing. Everybody's going to sleep better, and I think it's been driving us to come out and play hard each and every night. I'm proud of the way this team's been battling. We continue to battle. We're not just getting accustomed to losing because it's not our tradition. That's not what we do. And enjoying this battle, going through with all these guys, and we've been tested right now, so trying to have as much fun with it as possible and just trying to find ways to win.
Utah at home on Wednesday night, and then the struggling Knicks on Friday in here. 2 winnable games, and then you go out on the road, which includes Philadelphia, who's obviously still winless, and a New Orleans team, which is an important game because that could be a team the Thunder could be fighting for 8th. This is an important stretch. I know you've looked at it. Winnable games and important games.
Yeah, these next 6 games, I believe the combined record of these next 6 teams was 26-54. The Thunder's lost to 3 of these teams, so nothing's a given. But 3 of them are at home. You have at least 1 day's rest in between all of these games. So this is time to make up some ground, try to take some pressure off of Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook when they come back.
Yep, that'll do it for us here in the Peak. For the best Thunder coverage team anywhere, stay tuned to newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.